Hi guys, this is Debbie with Debbie J's Crafting Corner. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm making these fun Sending You Rainbows spotlight cards. This video is part of the Card Hoppin video series, and the theme for this month's projects is rainbows and shaker and spotlight techniques. Okay, so I am going to attempt, this is actually my fourth attempt on doing a spotlight card. The first two attempts went straight in the trash as soon as I got finished stamping. The third one I'm still not happy with, so I made another using a completely different set of supplies. So that's the one I think I'm going to go with because I think that card turned out pretty cute. I'm starting off with the Spellbinder's Sunburst stencil. I just got this one in. So first thing I need to do is just tape that stencil down, tape my paper down to the stencil, and I will probably reposition it. So I was just starting off with that, just using some washi tape for this. And I have not sprayed this one down with pixie spray as yet. I will be doing that at a later time, I think. So I just want a little bit off center. Okay, and now I'm going to tape the stencil down to my glass mat, so hopefully it won't move around too much. Okay, and for this first panel, the way I'm going to do it, I'm going to use some Memento Tuxedo black ink and one of my blending brushes. Now I love these new blending brushes I got from Amazon. They just put down just the right amount of color, and they are so super easy to use. And it blends out to white really easily as well. So I really love these. And I'm finding that these take a lot less time for me to do any kind of application of ink down onto my panels. I think I need to put more tape down or shift it some because it is moving a bit from the corners, probably because that's where I'm using the most amount of pressure. Not a lot, but some. And I do want the edges to have a fair amount of this ink because that's the part that's going to basically be staying gray on my card. Okay, I'm going to say that that is good enough. So let's go ahead and take a quick look. Okay. So next I need to clean all of that ink off of this stencil. So I'm just using a baby wipe to just wipe that off. So next I'm going to do a second panel. Now the second panel is going to be the spotlight section, which is going to be basically right over the first panel. So these side pieces are going to attach the new panel to the stencil. I'm going to go ahead and add those. And then this top piece is I'm going to attach to the top of my first panel so I can make sure that everything gets lined up right. And that's just going to be on there for just a moment. So now I'm going to lay my cardstock down and my stencil and just line everything back up with those lines. And now I'm just going to press it down so it holds on to those side pieces that are attached to my new cardstock. I'm going to remove this extra piece of tape and just pull that other panel out. Now I can take the whole thing back down. Okay. And this one I'm going to be doing in all rainbow colors, so I'm going to start off with the primaries, which is the yellow, the red, and the blue. So for the red, for the yellow, I'm using mustard seed. And I'm just going to start in the center and just work my way out. And the tape is not wanting to hold on. Let me grab some other tape. Okay, that is holding down much better. Okay, so I'm done with the yellow. Now I will go on to the red. And I'm going to go off in a slightly different direction to leave a little space in between so I can blend that orange in between. So that's why I'm starting off with the primaries. Now this is also, this one is Crackling Campfire. So it has some orange tint to it, but I still think it looked pretty cool on this card. So now I've got the red done. I think I'll come down just a touch. And next I'm going in with the blue, and for the blue I'm using Salty Ocean. And now I'll go in with those complementary colors. We'll go in with orange. And that's going in between the yellow and the red and blending in a little bit. Then I will go in with the purple, which I'm using for the orange. I'm using Spice Marmalade. For the purple, I'm using Seedless Preserves. And this is going to go in between my Crackling Campfire and Salty Ocean. And on this one, it doesn't really matter if I get all the way to the edge, but I do want to have some good amount of color in towards the center, because that's a general area that I'm going to be cutting out. And next I'm going in with the green, and for that I'm using Cracked Pistachio. Okay, so that panel is probably all done. So let's go ahead and remove all that tape. And I absolutely love the way that that turned out. So next I need to cut out a section of this, and what we're going to be doing is we've got the gray, and I guess what I'm envisioning here is Wizard of Oz. So this is the black and white version of the Wizard of Oz, and this is where Dorothy ends up in Oz. So I'm going to be cutting out a circle from that. I think that should be a good position, so I'll go ahead and cut that out using my Gemini Junior. And these dies are from the Nesting Circle dies from Nesting Circle Infinity dies from Hero Arts. Okay, so now we have that piece. And I think I also, this looks really cool, but I kind of want to add a little bit of pop around that circle. So I'm also going to cut a piece out of some black cardstock. So I'm going to use that same size die that I used on the first piece. And I'm going to use the next size up. And I'm basically going to just cut out a thin ring to go around our little rainbow circle there. Okay, so we've got a panel that is all black, and then we've got an extra circle that I will put in my stash to use later. Then I've got this round frame to go around that. I also decided that I want to pop up my colorful piece, so I decided to just cut a piece of craft foam out in a circle that's just a touch smaller than my rainbow color circle, and I'm just going to glue that to the back. So what I found the easiest way to get the rainbow position correctly is to line up the two pieces we already have. So we're going to see the gray through the rainbow. And I'm going to use a piece of washi tape to hold it in place because I did find that it does kind of shift around a little bit. Trying to make sure that I'm lining up my lines from the rays so everything stays in the right spot. Now I should be able to just adhere this down right into that circle and line up my rays so they're all going in the right direction. And so that I have the colors matched up. And the liquid adhesive gives me a chance to kind of move it around a little bit. Now I'm lifting up that rainbow to make sure everything is in the right spot, and it looks good. Next I will go ahead and adhere our little ring around it. And while that has a little bit of time to dry, I'm going to set it off to the side. I'm going to stamp out a sentiment. Now the sentiment that I'm using is from an old Recollections Enchanted Rainbows set. And I'm just using Memento Tuxedo Black ink for that, since I already have it out from where I did the background. I'm going to ink that up real good. This, although it's an old stamp, it's fairly new because it has not gotten much love. I may have to change that. I like the way that this card is turning out, so I may have to make additional. I'm giving it a second to sit. And now we have our little sentiment. And I'm just going to go ahead and just fussy cut that out. And I decided I'm going to put that sentiment right in the center of the rainbow. And since we already got the rainbow popped up, this is one reason why I didn't really worry too much about the blend here turning kind of brownish with all of those colors mixing in right at the center. That part really didn't matter too much because I was putting this cute little cloud there. Okay, and that is the main part of the card done. Now I just need to trim it down, put it on a card base, and add a little bit of shimmer. Okay. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use that piece of black cardstock that has the hole in it, and I'm going to use that as my matting layer. Okay, so that looks pretty good. And then I can adhere this panel to my card base. And then as the final bit for this card, I do need to add a little bit of shimmer. So I'm using my Spectrum Noir glitter pen, and I'm going to start with the yellow because I'm probably going to pick up a little bit of the distress ink and transfer it around. And if I start at the yellow, it's going to be fine because it's just going to mix into the next darker color. And it's not going to be that big of a difference, but I figure just in case, it's probably the best bet to go with. Okay. Just wanted to make sure I didn't have a bunch of random colored ink on that, because I'm also going to add a little bit of shimmer to my cloud. So I'm just basically following around the shapes of each of those curves just a little bit inside. And I noticed that my rainbow sentiment is just a little bit crooked, but that's okay. Might be able to move it. It's probably too glued down. No, it's too well stuck. I'm not going to try moving that now. But I think I'm going to add just a few little crystals there, using my art glitter glue and my jewel picker. And these are those gems that I've picked up a long time ago over at Hobby Lobby, and they basically last, so far, they last forever. That finishes up this project for today. Thanks for dropping in, and don't forget to smash that like button and leave a comment down below to let me know what you think of this technique. If you haven't already, I'd love for you to consider subscribing and hit the little notification bell so that you never miss one of my videos. Be sure to check out the rest of the hop because I know there will be a lot of inspirational projects for you to see. Here are some other videos that I know you'll enjoy. Thanks again for dropping by, and remember, if I can make it, you can too.